All right. So Nadia, this is just really a recap, sort of like a parent, tutor, learner get together so that we can do sort of like give you the background to what Austin has achieved, what he's managed to understand. And let's just put the platform correctly. Austin, you're still 14, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still 14. You started with us when I think you were 13, if I'm correct, eh? Or was it 12?
12, I think.
12.
I think it was 12. 12.
12. So you had, and that time Daniel was still working with you, and he was really the main. You sat on the side there listening very intently to what was going on, and then Daniel went into his own curriculum, and you came with us on your own, and you started to move through the algebra. We did the numeracy, and we went into the algebra, and it just slowly, slowly progressed. And all of a sudden, you now in still grade 8, you went from 13 to 14, and we found we're busy because you just worked at the pace that you worked. Am I correct? We didn't push you.
No, not really. Well, sometimes where it did feel a bit fast, but when I said it is a bit too fast, you did slow down.
Okay, so it was your pace. That's what I want to make sure people understand. You went your pace. I think we had two lessons. We were doing two lessons a week for about half an hour. And then you did your exercises. What I want people to know for sure is that you followed the stream. And as you worked, and when you had a problem, you put it into the tutor, which was Nanette, and she helped you, and you went back. And then if it was an intensive problem, we sorted it out on the lesson. And we've just been working progressively through this. And we find ourselves at almost at the end of calculus. And we're still in grade 8. In fact, it's half the year. There's 2 terms left. That's outstanding. And it's not that you understand it well. And I think if you had to write a test, you'd be about 60, 70, maybe a little bit more percent on the stuff that you've covered. You've gone all the way through algebra, and we've been messing around on calculus for a few weeks. So, Mom, that brings you up to date. Now, this normally gets touched really in grade 12. And I would say a good measure would be that 80% of the students never get it. The calculus is very weak. It's one of those fear factors. It just wipes them out. You've done it, which means you've set the precedent, Austin, which is I'm very proud of you. You're going to be an inspiration to not hundreds, but thousands of young people.
Yes.
Because we're trying to get them within 3 years, from grade 8 to grade 10, to complete the curriculum. And you didn't just do this, because we've already done functions with you. We've done analytical geometry with you. We've certainly completed the algebra. I don't know any other sections that just come to mind, but I think those we've definitely, we even did number patterns with you at a time. So there's a lot of stuff that's been covered. It's not just algebra. You've actually done a lot of sections. But we decided to take the route, if you want, and got you to this point. And you have blossomed so much so that it's inspirational. And I'm going to say you've proven the normal. You've set the new normal. This is what every student who's dedicated and is prepared to work, whatever time you spent. How long did you spend a day kind of like working on maths, or a week, or I don't know how you did it?
Probably every day about half an hour or so.
Yeah. Brilliant. Compare that to someone who's at school, who's spending 1 hour in a classroom just about every day, 45 minutes, 1 hour, then getting a whole pile of homework, and then doing extra lessons.
Yeah, I was like that in high school.
That's how we all were, isn't it? You go there, you sit in class, you don't know what's going on, you look at the board, okay, that looks okay, take down a few notes, go home, open up your homework, look at it, start crying.
Stuck.
You don't know what to do. And that's it. You go back the next day, hopefully it gets dealt with, or maybe it's onto a new section. So that we have that problem. Okay. Mom Nadia, what a privilege to have you, and thank you for sharing your son with us. We are really happy. This is amazing. Listen, I want to ask you a question, and I've got my questions here to help us so that we keep on a kind of a track. Before joining K2U, how did you know, as a parent, how did your child, Austin, feel about mathematics? And if there has been a change, how's that changed? What has been your experience?
Well, he was doing well, but he would get frustrated with certain aspects of maths. And then because of the curriculum we were doing, it was difficult sometimes to help him. So in comparison to now, where he struggles with certain things, he can come to you or Nanette and ask for help and work through things, and then he understands. Yeah.
So that's been a very positive thing for you guys, that whole level of frustration. And do you think, I think a lot of parents must struggle with it because some of this math is Greek, and most
I did maths in school, but to remember all of it and struggle with the tricky parts can be challenging when it gets to this level, calculus and that sort of thing. If you're not practicing that all the time, it's hard to help them.
Listen, I do this every day of my life. That's what I've been doing for 44 years, and I still get stuck. So I can just imagine if someone has to pull this out of their brain, it's hectic stuff. You got to be fluent. You got to keep yourself on top of the questions. Okay.
Yeah. So it's definitely been a great thing for him to have you there to work through things that he finds tricky.
Just a thought, what is your feelings that we are so far ahead of the curriculum or curriculums worldwide here? I mean, he's really at another level.
Yeah, I'm very proud of him. We all come to him when we say, "Oh, well, you're the maths guy in the family. You figure it out."
Yeah. Have you felt that is of any value emotionally and to Austin himself as a person? Like, does he not walk different because he just knows that he knows he's good. He knows something.
It does wonders for his self-esteem, I would say.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Self-esteem. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
How important, as a parent, how important is that a child gets a positive, constructive self-esteem?
Very important, very important. And I'm glad that he doesn't struggle with it like he used to.
So for one's life journey as an adult, that's probably more important than anything else, is to have a positive, believable self-esteem, that you're good. You can't be good at everything, but if you're at least good at one thing, you can move in that direction and be the best.
Yeah. And especially maths, because it's such a tricky subject.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Can you describe a moment when you realized that Austin wasn't just improving but thriving? Did that ever come across anywhere?
I think how many years has he been with you now? 2 or 3?
About 2.5 or so.
Yeah, I think maybe it was about after the first year when he said, "Well, Mom, I'm already going to grade 10." When he was supposed to be much lower. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, so I would say, then when he told me about his first
jump,
much higher level. Yeah.
So that, again, I would take some parents and even teachers would say, no, you're pushing the kid too fast. You're going to the thing. I've always stuck to my gun and said, no. Let's go as fast as the child can move. And then we'll decide. We won't overpressure. We're not trying to achieve anything in terms of rocket science, and we're not in competition with Elon Musk or anybody. We just want to get the child stimulated. And I think that's what it's talking about. There was a moment when he jumped in his mind and he said, "You know what? This is fun. This is fun, and I'm way ahead of what I should be, according to an external parameter called the curriculum." Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Austin, what do you think about that?
Good.
Good. No, I like your one-word answers.
Man, a few words.
Yeah. Powerful. Okay. So, yeah, it's that moment when you know you can. In other words, your life now, you'll never have to take somebody else's opinion about your intelligence level and what you can and cannot do. You do realize that.
Yeah.
If you decide to do something, you will do it intellectually. You've got the gift and you've applied it, and now you've got the evidence. That's the importance of doing this. It's not to achieve. Who cares if you can do calculus this year or next year? I mean, really, who cares? I don't care. I just want you to know, more importantly, that you know in your brain that you can do anything you set your mind to if you choose to do it. That's what you've proven to yourself. And I want to use that for others as an inspiration. I want other students that are sitting there and thinking, like, I'm so bored with this math. So come on, man. 1 + 1. Okay, we did that last week. Can we not move on? And I want everybody to know, no, you can. You're not limited. And you proved it for everybody, Austin. This wasn't a planned event. We didn't sit down with an agenda and say, this is where we're going. We went where you allowed us to go. And even today's lesson, I mean, look at it. I don't even know why it's still on. Let me just take it off so we can get some full picture here. It's quite stimulating, this. I mean, who would even think that should even be allowed? Is it legal? Are we doing that? Is it legal? Okay, next one. How has Austin's performance here influenced your hopes as a parent? Austin, your hopes as a learner, as a pupil, as a potential adult? How has it influenced your hope for the future?
You want to answer first?
No, you can.
Well, that, if he wants to do something that involves maths, he'll have no problem. And any exams that he chooses to do, I think he'll thrive in those. Just giving us more hope for his academic future, put it that way.
So with the way the world's going right now, with AI blasting in from all corners, every new idea gets the platform for the next level.
Yeah.
The fact that you are ahead of the game,
yeah,
does that give you a sense of peace and like assurance?
Yes, definitely.
Because it's quite scary. I think anybody who says it's not scary is lying. Or their heads in the sand. They don't understand what's coming.
Yeah.
Even doctors. The local GP, his days are numbered through AI. What he knows, AI also knows.
Yeah.
And it's available to the masses.
Yeah.
So a doctor can no longer decide, I'm going to be a GP. That's going to be gone. It's going to be a specialist. It's got to be a hands-on. Like a surgeon, I don't know how easy that's to remove that guy who's like doing a heart transplant. Now, I think that's quite important. I think we want him on board. But I suppose even that, robots are going to take over and do a better job as they go for mass heart transplant. But that's a while.
Yeah. So you have to be able to think ahead.
You've got to be way above. And that's, I mean, if you go into medicine now, when do you start actually going into practice? Just think about that. When do you start to practice? Because as a young person, to come out of just going in, doing your 7 years, doing your community service, I don't know what it's like where you guys are as our international client in England. I mean, I don't know what it's like there, but yeah, it's crazy. And I don't want to go to a guy just qualified. I must be honest. I want to see you've got 40 years experience and you've done this before. Okay, I'm not the guinea pig here. You can go get somewhere else. I don't think a lot of people think, well, you're young. I mean, you've just qualified. What do you know? You're still book knowledge.
Yeah.
Someone who's like knows what happens when something starts bleeding that's not supposed to.
Yeah.
How do you switch a pump off? Yeah, that's very important. That takes experience. To know that Austin actually has that ability to be right in front, the pioneer in a field, which means he's using AI, not being used by AI or being replaced. He is the one who's,
Yeah.
as a parent.
Yeah. It's very exciting.
And reassuring, yes, maybe.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because it's getting hard for young people to actually etch a really financially viable career out there because of the dynamics that we find ourselves in. It's a very different world.
Yeah, and we believe that maths is very important for everything.
Well, apparently, it's like top of the pops. You wouldn't say so when you look at our country's results. You would think it's actually the least important, that they would allow us to continue at such a rate. We don't even get a 1% distinction in Matric. We let go of 1 million kids before grade 10. They drop it.
Wow.
1 million out of 1.22.
Wow.
What are those kids going to do, actually? Because that market is so saturated. I mean, you're adding 1 million people into that market every year.
Yeah.
So, yes, maybe there are jobs that don't need maths, but the queue is quite long. And every year, it's another 1 million people are looking for those jobs.
Yeah.
That's quite difficult.
Yeah.
STEM subjects are becoming more and more in demand, which is where Austin is obviously going to be flourishing. Can you imagine when you start taking this into physics? Oh, my word, Austin. That's going to be amazing, man, because your maths is just going to be so super intuitive that you're going to read your physics and read the maths in the physics without worry. It'll just make sense. And that's where our physics marks are worse than our maths marks. They don't really publish them too much because it's really bad news. The maths is bad enough. Nobody even talks about physics. Well, they do, but it's like hidden knowledge. Listen, anything else you want to add to this as a recommendation to other parents to consider for their own children?
Yes. I definitely highly recommend your tutoring and how well you come alongside and help and work through things, and or you're available for any questions, anything that he's struggling with. And your teaching methods have been great. So I highly recommend your math school to any parent.
Yeah, to a dedicated child. Huh? We're dedicated. And if a child doesn't want to work, we know there may be certain issues they're not inspired, we could try. But if someone, we're looking for young people, just like Austin, that have the potential and can really fly if they use the system.
Yeah.
And the fact is that it is a digital platform, but because there's a human that's standing with you, even if it's a WhatsApp away or a Telegram message away, there's somebody there to monitor and fix, and then get that human content. We keep in it. We want to make sure that's very much part of the digital, but the digital world is taken over, and the way that you're running through what we call the stream, that's a K2U invention, if I may say. The way we streamed the maths, and you've worked it, and you've reaped the rewards of it. And it's very little human interaction in comparison. You work, and then you get fixed, and then you carry on, and then you master and the tests. But there we go. Listen, I think that's awesome. Austin, you're awesome. I think it's going to be just fantastic, and we're going to keep pumping away, and we're going to get the other in time. We're not in a rush now. And we will, in the next 2-3 years, we will have finished everything, and then we just go. I hope you're going to go into I would imagine the Cambridge Matric would be probably your best bet, because it's really it's deep, it's whole, it's complete. The language is really good, and it sets up a lovely, but that you don't have to worry about. We'll just finish all the standard maths, and then we will look at the curriculum in the next probably 2 years or so, and we start moving into your Cambridge Matric, and that'll be marvelous. You'll walk out of school with something so powerful and so useful for whichever direction you want to take it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Been a pleasure. Hey, love having you on the, I love having you on the team with us. And thank you so much for all your support as well, Nadia. It's really fantastic.
And thank you for everything.
Only a pleasure. Really.
It's such a comfort to know that you are there to help him. So he doesn't have to struggle along by himself.
I think that's very important. And I think a lot of parents are a lot bolder than me emotionally because they pulled all the hair out. I don't know what my excuse is, but yeah, I know it's a tough one. This is a tough journey for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I know for Daniel, my older son, before he was with your school as well, we used to have many difficult days where we would wrestle.
Not happy. Yeah. No, look, it's not that it's not that the trouble goes away. It's just there's a way to manage it, and it's not that level of frustration that builds up, and then such a big thing to pick up and pick up, and then eventually, no, forget it. I'm not doing this. Yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, I think you've set a fantastic example. Austin, again, keep it up, young man.
Yeah.
We'll see you all next week. Thank you so
for
much.
everything.
Cheers.
Thanks for everything.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.